Good evening. I had something prepared for offering tonight, but now as I look at your faces, I'm inspired instead to invite questions that are related to your practice and to your life. I would like to welcome especially those who are new to this practice or who are checking it out, and feel free to then ask, since I am not able to hold one-on-one consultations with all of you regularly. I would like to take this as an opportunity. If you have a burning question that you have been holding in your heart during your practice and have not had a chance to ask, I'd like to offer you that opportunity. Or if you are a person who has been sitting for some time and you feel that there's something that you'd like to ask that beginners might help in hearing, feel free to ask on their behalf also. The floor is open. Just raise your hand and I'll call you and you may unmute. No burning questions? Okay, then one last chance. Then I'll begin by reading a poem to you. This is a poem by Ophelia Zepeda, who is a member of the Tohono O'odham Nation of southwestern Arizona. It's entitled Carrying Our Words. I found this on a newsletter of the Yale Forum on Religion and Ecology, thanks to Mary Evelyn Tucker and John Grimm. So let me read the poem and then I'll tell you a story. We travel carrying our words. We arrive at the ocean. With our words, we are able to speak of the sounds of thunderous waves. We speak of how majestic it is, of the ocean power that gifts us songs. We sing of our awe and call it our kin. Now, let me tell you a story. This is a story of a salt doll that my dear Dharma friend, Sister Elaine, would tell on occasion to her fellows and practitioners, and I believe many of you may have heard about it. There are many versions of this story of the salt doll. So one version goes that there was this salt doll that was frolicking on a beach, just enjoying its time, and then somehow began to hear the rustling of the ocean, and turning its gaze to the ocean began to ask, "What is that?" And this doll heard some people talking about that which she was looking at, and heard that it was being called the ocean. So what is this ocean? So it started looking at the ocean and also cupping its ears to listen to that thunderous clapping sometimes, or some gentle rushing sometimes, or just some wavy movement sometimes. And in doing so, she heard a voice, "Come to me and I'll let you know." So she was drawn to the ocean and gradually approached the ocean. And as she took one step and immersed her foot into the ocean, she felt good. Ah, what is this ocean? And then she took another step. And again, she felt very good. But then she realized her foot was now missing. And then the other foot was now missing. But somehow the ocean kept drawing her on and on. So she went deeper into the ocean. And as she did, then up to her knees, then the rest of her legs fell away, and going down deeper and still drawn by the ocean, she finally made the plunge and melted into the ocean. And then she heard a voice. This I am. I am this. The ocean, of course, stands for that big, immense reality that is beyond our words, that which somehow draws our heart. Somehow our heart wants to know more about that reality that we can hear deep within, and somehow we can get glimpses of it every now and then when we look around, when we see maybe trees, or when we see people, or when we see the sky, or when we see a sunset. Something nudges us, telling us about that immense reality that we don't know how to call. And so temporarily, tentatively, let's call it the ocean. So what is that? And so we are drawn to sitting. And in this sitting, that is where we are invited to go deeper into that ocean. And so now the poem of Ofelia Cepeda comes back to us, saying, we travel carrying our words. We arrive at the ocean, but in that arrival, it's still before us. We are not yet fully there, but we're simply there, realizing that there's this immense reality that impinges upon us, that calls us, that draws us, that is calling our heart to come closer and closer and closer and plunge into it. What is this reality that is calling us? We call it with many words. We can call it mu, we can call it emptiness, or we may call it Buddha, we may call it God, triune mystery, Allah, that which draws our hearts deeper and deeper into it. And so there are many names, and those who are before that immense reality are able to speak about it, and somehow in hearing sounds of thunderous waves, we try to echo those things that we heard. So there are different kinds of sounds that we hear about it. We speak of how majestic it is, of the ocean power that gifts us songs. It is that same power from that same majestic and incomprehensible, unfathomable reality that inspires our heart to burst into song from time to time. And those songs sing of our awe. And also it enables us to see we are kin with that immense reality. So what is that we're talking about? This is the reality that draws us to go deeper and deeper into this practice. And so if I were to offer an extra line, if I may dare to offer an extra line to Ofelia Cepeda's words, I'll read it again and then offer that last line. Then I would like to connect this with the Salt Dao. Carrying our words. We travel carrying our words. We arrive at the ocean. With our words, we are able to speak of the sounds of thunderous waves. We speak of how majestic it is, of the ocean power that gifts us songs. We sing of our awe and call it our kin. And our words melt into the great silence. And our words melt into the great silence. So ultimately, it is this great silence that invites us to plunge deeper and deeper. And as we do so, we realize, I am that.